Well, you know, you learn from everything. I learn from seeing some TV shows sometimes, and it's hard to say. I would say that most of my training was on the job. If I had an acting class, I'd teach this. I call it thinking out loud. So if I say to you, to be or not to be, what is the question? What I'm really thinking is, Barry, why don't we get out of here and have lunch, or something. That I'm telling you what I'm thinking while I'm saying it. Right. Whichever it is. And I do that a lot in rehearsals.
After the line, or before the line?
I say, while, during. You know, it'll be whatever the line is. Yeah. And then I'll say, you know, when I'm telling you this line, I'm telling you this because I'm very angry at your sister. And I don't say things that are random, but I say things that are related to my imagination of the life of the play. I mean, if you take Sweet Bird of Youth, a conversation between Chance and the princess. If he's saying to her, gee, I wish that waiter'd get here because I'm starving, or whatever it is, what he'd be thinking is, you know, while I'm telling you this, I'm very nervous to be back here in this town because I know the people hate me.
That's right.
So I think that that's also what life is like. People talk and they're also thinking about something. They're thinking about, I have to remember to pick up coffee or something. Usually I go in my house, in my kitchen, and I have a kind of there's the kitchen, a small kitchen, and there's a table. Right. And I have a window that looks out onto trees and things. Right. And I put the script there and I start to make tomato sauce or something. And I read the script, and as I read it, I expand my reading. You know, a week later I'll read the line before my line, you know, and then the line after my line, you know, so gradually I get to know it. But I just read it over and over. And I try not to ever find out whether it's serious or comic. Things like that. I read the lines with an Irish accent, a German accent, like a cowboy. I do that a lot. I imitate other actors. I'm a lousy imitator, but I do my version of somebody. And sometimes it's not an actor. You know, I just find myself doing the voice of, you know, Judge Judy, or the voice of, you know, of Jerry Springer, or whatever. You know, I didn't go to school a lot, and I come from a neighborhood where most of the people were not American. And I think it absolutely affected the way I talk. A lot of the people that I grew up with, their parents anyway, were people who spoke broken English. And I understand that, putting a verb in the wrong place and stuff, and the adjective at the end. And in fact, certain languages are like that. My father's German. The Germans, I think, they'll put the adjective at the end, something like that. And the French put the negative on both sides of the verb, and it's, you know, and then they come to America and they speak that the way they think. So I do that. But when I get there, I pretty much know what I'm thinking when I say what I'm saying.